Hello, curious ones. Welcome to Route 37 Podcast, the podcast of many topics. My name is Jen, and this is pretty much about my life, my stories, sharing them, and listening to you share your stories. Today, I am working on some Valentine's Day crafts for my plant store. Boy, do I have a lot of memories attached to Valentine's Day. That love holiday. It's kind of weird what we're calling love these days, don't you think? I do anyway. It is... You should see the hearts I'm making. So fun. I still believe in love, though, because I'm full of it. Weird world we live in. Especially if you're almost 55 and wanting to date again. Partner off. I don't even know what dating looks like, really. Because, yeah. Give me a minute. I'm wrapping my mind around it. I can see what it looks like from a healed perspective. I can also see what it looks like from another learning situation perspective. I had, I don't even know what the Facebook post was about, but the person on Facebook, we had agreed or mentioned that a relationship is the classroom where you learn and level up out of this realm. I think it only happens between a relationship between a man and a woman. And I'll probably catch a lot of flack for that. Whatever you identify as, you're going to learn a lot in any relationship type of situation, in my opinion. Because you do learn a lot in those intimate relationships, I'm finding. I have been, and this is interesting, this is fun. I don't listen to my own words. It's a bit cringeworthy because I was just telling a customer about, she asked me what my podcast was about, and I had said my life and my stories and where I have been and how I got from there to here, and the things that I've done with my pain, the things I've built. Pretty good with building with pain, making things beautiful. So if I got to talk from a design perspective, that was kind of fun. But I don't listen to myself on my ramblings of my podcast. I simply send it to Spencer and let him turn it into something that people might identify with, relate to, want to listen to, or simply just be like, well, this bitch isn't fucking crazy. So whatever your reasons are. Hi, welcome. But I don't really go back and listen because I'm not even the same Jen I was 5 minutes ago. What's the point? But I do feel compelled to tell my stories, whether it's me reading real and raw stuff from my journal or what I am experiencing right now in the here and now. And in the here and now, I am, I don't know how many days. Valentine's Day is on Friday. So I have achieved my career on my goals, on my terms, as far as the times that when I owned a flower shop and you have sold your soul to the order gatherers such as FTD, Telefloral, any of the fun ones, that Valentine's Day is a little wee bit chaotic, spreading love and joy and happiness for everybody else. Giving them a product that dies and has a shelf life, mind you, of, if you're lucky, 3 to 5 days. And the product isn't even the same anymore in the line of fresh flowers. Makes me so stinking grateful that I own a plant store and that flowers are my secondary, that I don't have to do them. Talk about career on my terms. What I get to do right now. Oh! And it's for sale. I have built quite the little boutique here. And I'm really proud of myself, which is weird to look back on too, because I look and I'm like, wow, I built this. Me, myself, and I did this. Not to toot my own horn, but I am nominated right now for New Business of the Year for the City of Walker. I'm proud of myself and how I got from there to here. If you go to my business socials and see my plant boutique, uniqueplantboutique.com, and what I built from the ground up to sell it so I can go and have other adventures. And now it's on the market. I mean, am I making money hand over fist? No. Obviously, that's not what it's about for me. Would I like it to be? Yes. Hear my pleas, universe. But I trust that I'm here for a reason, and that I built this for a reason, and that I'm ready to go on to the next, which for me, creatively, is this podcast. I don't know how much realer or rawer it gets from reading real-time journal entries or having to look at oneself and realize, wow, real eyes. Like, I don't know who that Jen is, and I don't know if I really, whatever. But it's funny when you're getting ready to level up, the universe will test you. I notice in my pattern recognition skills, I am noticing that old flames, old past things will come up to see how well you react or don't react to. I'm laughing at a couple of them right now because I'm like, damn, I must be getting ready to level up hardcore. And of course, for me, I shouldn't say of course because you don't know that, but I'm telling you right now that for me, the universe will send a romantic inclination of some sort. Odd, right? Mm-hmm. At 55, and you're still single, or not still single because I had a long-term marriage and then a one I don't count. Dum dum. Which, if you have listened to any of the episodes before this one, you know that there are characters in my story. I'm only on I think 8 or 9 episode. But this one is about me and Valentine's Day and how it correlates in my life. Valentine's Day is a florist of almost 32 years. Yikes. Lied to get my first job. Gay guy knew right away, you ain't ever designed nothing in your life. But I did. I was on an assembly line with my mom and my sisters at West Michigan Floral Supply. And there were times I was on baby's breath duty, focal, flower duty. Got to do all sorts of fun. Bunch of old ladies sitting around a table doing their part to build a flower arrangement. I quickly learned and found my aesthetic eye there. But wow, I'll never forget this old man, Fred Oles. He would meet me downstairs and teach me with silk flowers a little bit about selling air and how things worked in the floral world. I learned a lot from those guys in my first retail job. And the rest is history, as they say. I'm pretty lucky that I get and have gotten to be able to do what I get to do creatively, whether I was doing it. 2 years ago, I was in Arizona freelancing in Arizona. An amazing Valentine's Day. Those guys really had their shit straight. It was fun. I got paid for my talent. I got to do funeral work. I got to work with an amazing crew and an amazing product. Hands down, one of the best for me. I've had my own flower shop and immersed in chaos of Valentine's Day, whether it's Sweetheart Swirl, corsages, the daily Valentine's Day order, depending on what day Valentine's Day fell on. I got a lot of stories, so I'll save that, the flower shop stories, because it's like if anybody owns a hair salon, you kind of know that it's your own little beast. And if you're in a small town, woo-hoo-hoo, you know shit you ain't supposed to know. Especially if you provide a service for that town. This town's a little different. People come from all over to see me, to experience my plant bar and my plants. Plants are a big deal. Big deal. I'm just so very grateful that I get to be creative. And how my life has come full circle with this plant store, not a flower shop, and I get to do whatever the fuck I want to do, how I want to do it, when I want to do it. Again, am I making money hand over fist? No. However, I get to sit here and cut hearts and make the hearts pretty. I get to meet people and talk about plants and design ideas. I get to meet picky people. I get to meet crabby people. I get to meet happy people. I get to meet shy people. I get to meet people, period. And then I'm not saying that's like the best thing in the whole world, because believe it or not, I might sound like I'm a total extrovert, but I'm probably more of an introvert. And I'm like, yeah, I just want to observe. I don't really want to have to participate. And then there's this other side of Jen who is, I guess, maybe an over-participator, oversharer, because I would just want to offer a safe space. And sometimes when you offer a safe space, it can be weaponized. Sometimes you say too much about your own life. So that's what I have a podcast for. And you guys are listening, so you must want to know how I got from there to here. So did you go check out my website and see that whole thing that I built from pain? This whole boutique was built out of, and I'm not like over the moon, like wanting to say this out loud, but there was a lot of spite involved in this, because somebody had dum-dum tried to sabotage my every move of this ever becoming a reality for me. And I wanted to do it in a partnership realm, like, hey, we could build a business, whatever. And not going backwards. But anywho, I built it knowing I was going to sell it. And I am excited for whoever gets to like take the baton from me, because you're going to have so much fun. It's already ready for you to go already. Like, I took the scary parts out for you. Plants are your anchor, and it's ready to go, especially if you're an artisan that has their own artwork. What do? Does it complement plants? I got a plant boutique for you. I sure do. And then I'm real proud of that new business of the year, because people they drive from far away to come experience it here, which blows my mind. That's got to count for something, right? I would dare say it does. But I'm ready to try other things now, whether that means going back to being full-time freelance at other shops and doing flowers and using other people's product, and they get my creativity and my talent. Travel, maybe. Move, maybe. Start somewhere new, maybe. I'm not sure. But I'm grateful to have options. And I'm grateful that even if I did do a lot of this and didn't think it through, did a lot of it out of spite here, just because somebody told me No, I assure you I can. And now we know. Next, time for the podcast. Time for. Sorry, Isabel texted me. Hi, Isabel. How fun is this? You guys get to listen to me ramble on while I'm making hearts for Valentine's Day. So, a fun little Valentine's Day fact about me. I owned a flower shop in a small town, Lowell, the Hole, Michigan. And it was, wow. It's so nice to just be sitting. I'm here by myself. I get to talk to my plants. I get to create. No chaos, no phone ringing off the hook. Just me, steady people that are interested that come in, not just, it's just different. And I love it. Again, no money, hand over fist. However, from a career perspective, from Jen looking back of how I got from there to here, this means a lot to me. And let me tell you why. Because there was a time in 2011, again, when I was sent, I know the label's been done to death, but I was sent a narcissistic relationship to learn through. He was the local funeral director. Again, that'll be a whole nother podcast episode. But where I'm going with this, in 2011, I had wrapped myself so much in this man that I pretty much lost everything. And I don't mean that in a baby way. I mean that in a, those are the gens I don't want to look back on and see the lessons. Did I learn them? Oh yeah. Yeah. The hard way. The relationships, which is so, again, we'll circle back. I'm sure circle back to that. But in 2011, I don't care if it's not on the books or if it is on the books, but I am the only floral shop in Western Michigan that closed their doors after the last delivery was delivered. By me, myself, and I, on Valentine's Day, 2011. While my phone was going off every 5 minutes from a toxic ick. His name is Cray Cray in the book. Then we have a Dum Dum. And that's just two. So if that gives you any indication of how smart I am now and how I'm more aware of my observances as in pattern recognition, I'm not so quick to dismiss myself and give people the benefit of the doubt, which is sad because I like that Jen that frolics about like I can't be her, that's for sure, because wow. And if that's any indication, here at 55, I'm still getting, I guess, pursued by a type that I'm like, wow, I feel like I've done the work. Why am I still attracting that type of person in my life? Which is funny because it's fun to kind of examine as, you learn something and letting go. And I do not like this word at all, but forgiveness, because I don't feel like it's a forgiveness, but it is an acceptance of what is and what happened and why from your own perspective, and not incessantly needing to understand why from their perspective. That in itself is growth. That in itself is some holy grail shit right there when you don't need to know. It's none of your business. It is what it is. You move forward. And I am guilty of stages of spite where, well, I'm going to show you. Yes, I can. And I'm glad for those because I showed myself that, yeah, I can. And I'm good at that. But strength, I mean, I don't know how many badges come with it and who cares about it. Nobody. You're so strong. We all are in our own way, that's awesome. Some have had more strife than others, and that's okay too. I can only speak about my lessons. I can only speak about my experiences. Just that's what I'm here to do at the Route 37 podcast. Just to raw dog it. This is my next creative baby. I look around my plant boutique and I see my talents everywhere. I get to talk design concepts with strangers and they come to me for ideas, and that's how you know you've arrived and how you're confident in what you say. And I'm confident in what I say because I don't speak upon things that I haven't already experienced. Some, there are some fake it till you make it still, especially heading into new podcast territory. Like, I get excited about the sponsors that I want. Todd Wenzel, Lake Michigan Credit Union. There's some ones that, like, hey, I want this, and I'm moving forward, and I'm right on schedule of my 3-year plan. 3-year plan, in that plan was build plant boutique, sell plant boutique. There have been a few ideas in between there of where I want to go next, and I would be a liar if I knew where I was heading next. I don't. But isn't that crazy at the age of 55? Like, and I'm not saying I'm gonna make all sorts of money off of the sale of my little project here. But what it's given me sorry, I'm drinking out of a bottle of water. What it's given me in experience, and I'm sure wherever I'm being sent next is going to require some of the skills that I've acquired here. Some I probably don't even know yet, won't know until I'm in that next situation. I'm trusting the unknown. I'm definitely flying in on a wing and a prayer. Physically, my body can't take much more of the unknown as far as cortisol and fight and flight go, because it's extremely taxing on your body to, first of all, be full circle living in your childhood bedroom. I feel like I go, and I don't mean jail cell in a bad way, but I mean it in a way of stagnancy, like when you can't even afford rent because you had to get a car. And I'm very grateful for the car. It's life. We're all lifing, man. That's it. Just life. I'm going to be taking segments and talking about my life, taking 37 minutes of my day that's set aside for podcast content to give you the real and raw Jen, if you're interested. Maybe you can relate, maybe you can't. Maybe you're just nosy, which I find there's a lot of that voyeurism, which is rampant on the internet. And I guess, I don't know if I'm too guilty of it. I'm not looking people up on purpose. Not all the time. Like, unless I've seen something about it and I'm like, who's that? Or, that it's on my Facebook feed everywhere. Pretty boring existence. Thank goodness I get to be creative. Woo-wee! I get to do fun things. I'm going to make a little noise here a minute. I get to play the sticks. I get to do my La Cucaracha. I get to be silly by myself. The plants love it. It's not a bad gig. People walk into my plant boutique and I greet them and I'm like, how you doing? Or they say, how you doing? And I can't help but say, I'm living the life. Because I really am. 4 years ago, I was visualizing this life. Might have been in a different location that I was visualizing. You got to be real specific with the universe, I find. And there have been some forks in the road. There has been some U-turns. There has been some not well thought out planning. Not really a planner. I should probably work on that. I'm a bit messy, but I am flying in on a wing and a prayer. I'm really hoping for a successful Valentine's Day. But how lucky am I that, I'm not paying a large retail mortgage. I'm not paying a large floral bill. I couldn't even imagine what flowers are when I only got a few for the few things that I was doing. Insane, insane in the membrane. And then I got emails about some tariffs, Trump tariffs that were happening that caused quite, I guess, uproar or anything to be bitching about something. But in the line, as we talked about earlier, I'm so very grateful that I am not a florist that is married and sold my soul to the order gatherers, because that's a tough life. You florists, hats off to you today and every day, the week before Valentine's Day, because it's a lot. I don't think people really ever understand how much that really, what goes into that and the service that you provide for the towns that you're in. We do a lot. I'm really lucky that I get to sit in my calm, serene plant store and do crafty little hearts that I'm giving away for free with every $20 purchase. We're getting some snow, I hear. We'll see. So that's always a factor. It's funny how you look at, from a business perspective, marketing perspective of your business. And I'm so grateful that I am not doing like floral deliveries. And I was telling somebody back in the day, we had to map quest all the delivery addresses. And when you're in a small town and everybody lives like, 5 miles apart in the country dirt roads, and oh man, again, hats off to all you florists out there that are managing and juggling delivery drivers and people that don't know what they're doing because they're only seasonal and always having to, hats off to you as I sit here, and I am so very lucky. So if this was my last year on earth, how lucky am I that I get to sit here in calm on my own terms. Again, am I making money hand over fists? Could happen. Could have a stellar week. In fact, I think I'm going to. Word's getting out that I'm here. Finally, I've arrived. And boy, I don't even want to jinx it, but if I get business of the year and I get to sell on that note that of business of the year, man, excuse me a minute, getting a little, but wow. Ah, Holy Grail. To be able to, what a send off to go off to the next. And then the next, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. So, yeah, I'm really lucky. The other day I asked a question on Facebook what your definition of lucky is. It's funny that I had a few, but luck, and it kept on coming, like seeing the dollar sign, like lucky meant money. I'm living proof it's not, really. How lucky am I that I don't have a boss screaming at me? I am not like answering 20 phone calls, doing 50 a million things at once right now. Am I capable? Fuck yes, I am. Absolutely, I am. Have I done it? Absolutely, I have. Managed, did really well. What a reward to be able to sit here and recall Valentines of the past, Valentines of importance, in of just one being that I was burnt down to the ground. Funny. the dynamics of life, especially when you get involved with a narcissistic male. And that holiday is supposed to be all about love, which brings me to another. I love when I ask the question of what is love, your personal definition of what love is. There's a lot of reactions for the most part, but a lot of it is that mushy fairy tale type response. And I remember reading once that love is a decision, and I've always stuck with me that love is is in action. Show me how you love me. You can tell me too. I love you. Positive and verbal affirmations of it is not a bad deal. There has to be a substantial connection behind it, especially now for me personally, to believe, oh, I gotta see how you love me, because you're gonna see how I love you, and vice versa. It's got to be this serve and volley. When you have a tennis partner, not really that I know, but a ping pong partner, when you find a rhythm and that ball's going back and forth without, for a long period of time, and you both have just kind of found your flow, this serve and volley, that type of component in a relationship. Wouldn't it be nice? A safety zone where I could lay all my armors down and be in a complete safe zone, so I would love to know submissive Jen inside an intimate relationship. When you're safe. And I am definitely ready for the divine masculine lesson. I look forward to it. Is it perfect? Nope. But is it going to be another learning lesson? Yep. Oh, fun though. Levels. I can tell by the caliber of distractions that the universe has sent me that I am leveling up hardcore. I do feel like the love of my life, last one, I feel like is coming for me. I definitely feel that. I'm manifesting that anyway. It's coming for me. If I could manifest this unique plant boutique, imagine if I got to put all my energy and intention in that manifestation, and then maintaining it and building it and constantly having a serve and volley of creation. Oh, at 55, it'd be nice. Would do wonders for my health. Health is wealth. So as I sit here and it's quiet enough for me to create podcast content, I am very grateful that I get to do this right now in the way that I'm doing it, on my terms. Oh! So now I'm going to finish some of my hearts, because I'm giving away a free heart with every $20 purchase. So Friday should be interesting. I will do a follow-up of this podcast and let you know how Valentine's Day went for me. One of the distractions comes and sees me quite regular now. That's going to be a whole tippy toe podcast episode, because sometimes the universe sends you live lessons, not just through the internet where you're just like in an inbox. There's definitely one that is coming to see me in the physical, and then there is one that I'm like hoping comes and sees me in the physical. And then there's some mystery spots. How fun. Not a bad deal. Sun shining today. Supposed to get a big storm. So we'll see how it goes. Dun, 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 dun. So is anything I said related to how your life is, kind of? Anybody ever been in a narcissistic relationship and lost everything because of it? Because you were blindly led down an avenue or avenues of untruths that made you make decisions that you might not have made had you known the truth. We all have something, don't we? We all have roads, paths, lanes we've allowed ourselves to be on. I love that in my 55 years, in the last 4 or 5 that I truly get to see and watch within myself coming through to the other side, seeing certain learning portals and being able, even if it is with a cringe, to look back and be like, wow, I got to be her. I got to be in that experience. And if you lived through any sort of experiences, you get to say, like myself, wow, you really lived through that. You are pretty interesting, Jen. You do have a story to tell. We all have a story to tell. If you have a story that relates, let me know. I'm doing a bunch of short interviews. I'll put you on speakerphone. It's real simple here. So if you're interested, find my digits, find my socials, find my message box, and we will go from there. It's not always fun sitting here talking to myself. I love to have a chit chat with you as I creatively map out directions for this podcast. Bear with me as I'm trying to sell a boutique. It's not as easy as I thought it was going to be to juggle both, creatively anyway. So, lots going on here. Stay tuned. I look forward to having you here, and if you're interested in knowing more, be sure to find me on all the fun socials and I guess hit all the buttons you're supposed to look and hit so you keep seeing my stuff. Or if you just get curious, come find me. You know where I'm at.